because I lead from the heart, not the head. And albeit that's got me into trouble in my work, I understand that. But someone's got to go out there and love people.
With a new HBO-made documentary coming out today, we at Where Are They Now have decided that it is high time we talk about one of the most controversial and beloved royals in modern history, Diana, Princess of Wales. I'm Adam Andrews with Where Are They Now? Let's get to it. Diana was born on July 1st, 1961 near Sandringham, England to her father Edward John Spencer, Viscount Althorp, and Frances Ruth Burke Roche, Viscountess Althorp. She had two older sisters in Lady Jane Fellows and Lady Sarah McCorquodale. She also had a younger brother, Charles Spencer, who was the 9th Earl Spencer. When Diana was still quite young, her parents divorced, likely partially due to pressures from her father on her mother to produce a male heir. However, her father won custody of the children. Her father also inherited the title of Earl Spencer in 1975, which gave Diana the title of Lady Diana Spencer when she was 14. As for her schooling, after some initial at-home education, Diana attended Riddlesworth Hall School and then West Heath School, and later would go to finishing school at Institut Alpin Vidament in Switzerland. Diana's father reportedly did not care too much for women's education, so Diana left school at the age of 16. But it did not hold her back. Diana showed an interest in caring for children as well as fashion, pop culture, music, and dance as she was growing up. And after she left Switzerland, she moved to London and began pursuing work with children, becoming an assistant at Young England Kindergarten. Lady Diana Spencer began dating Prince Charles, heir to the British throne, who was 13 years older than her in 1977, which is when things went to another level. They had first met when they were a bit younger, when her family rented Park House, which is an estate owned by the Queen, and Diana would play with Charles's younger brothers. Charles was under a hell of a lot of pressure to find a bride, being the heir, but he needed someone publicly acceptable. We have to remember marriage for a royal is not all about love. It involves a lot of extra details. But Diana fit the bill, despite their age difference and despite the fact that Charles was still involved with his ex, Camilla Parker Bowles, before and during his and Diana's relationship. After roughly 4 years of dating, on February 6, 1981, Prince Charles proposed to Diana with a massive ring that was worth £28,000 or $35,000. And then finally, Lady Diana Spencer became Diana, Princess of Wales, when she married Prince Charles on July 29, 1981, at an honestly incredible wedding that took place at St. Paul's Cathedral with 2,650 guests. I like weddings as much as the next dude. I mean, I ain't crazy about them, but this one? Good God, pretty great. The royal wedding ceremony was broadcast on television around the world, with nearly 1 billion people from 74 different countries tuning in to watch. The wedding is considered to be the wedding of the century by many, many people. My mom even rewatches it sometimes, but I think my mom might just be crazy. I don't know. I love you, Mom. Speaking of moms though, and more specifically becoming moms, together Diana and Charles had 2 sons throughout their marriage. Prince William Arthur Philip Louis, who was born on June 21st, 1982, and Prince Henry Charles Albert David, or more commonly just called Prince Harry, who was born on September 15th, 1984. Not only was Diana an awesome mother to her own children, famously raising them as much as she could by herself, which was not the royal tradition, but as princess, she was loved for the way she would interact with children at the many charities and charity events she supported. The people loved Diana fiercely. She was human and didn't have much problem showing it, something the rest of the royal family was not so accustomed to. She was even the first person in the royal family to talk openly about her struggles with mental illness, specifically depression and bulimia. Now, there were many things that resulted in the decline of the marriage. Before they married, the pair had only met a total of 13 times, and she was even expected to call him Sir. On top of that, as I already mentioned, Charles was still involved with Camilla, and she even became his royal mistress within a year of the marriage. And 3 is a crowd in a marriage. Not a good crowd either. In an interview to mark their engagement, Charles couldn't even say that he loved Diana, instead muttering when asked whatever love means, which you can imagine would hurt quite a bit. According to Diana, it actually traumatized her. With Charles having a mistress, Diana also took up other lovers too. Diana felt overwhelmed by her royal duties and the intense media coverage of nearly every single aspect of her life. She began to develop and pursue her own interests. She served as a strong supporter of many charities, like we said before, and worked to help the homeless, people living with HIV and AIDS, and children in need. Diana's separation from Charles was announced in December 1992 by British Prime Minister John Major. The divorce was finalized in August of 1996, with Queen Elizabeth II urging Diana and Charles to officially end their marriage. Diana retained her title of Princess of Wales and her apartments at Kensington Palace, but she agreed to give up the title Her Royal Highness and any claim to the British throne. She would famously call out the royal family for the arranged marriage, their closed doors, and the hypocrisy. When she spoke about Charles's mistress and infidelity, friends of his would speak publicly about her mental health and how it discredits any claims she makes, essentially using her publicly admitted mental health issues as a weapon against her. Post-divorce, Diana devoted herself to her sons and charitable efforts, including raising awareness about the dangers of leftover landmines in war-torn Angola. Despite all of the controversy, she kept up a high level of popularity with the public, and the people usually took her side more often than not. Diana had fallen head over heels for Hasnat Khan, a Pakistani heart surgeon whom she met in 1995 and began dating him after the marriage. And after they split up, she began dating Egyptian film producer and playboy Dodi Fayed in 1997, which caused quite a bit of media attention. Attention that was already at a high before the two began to date. The two reportedly met at a 1986 polo match when Fayed and Charles played on opposing teams, which I'm sure you can imagine caused controversy on its own. Some members of the royal family and former Prime Minister Tony Blair did not approve of their relationship, which again also added to the bonfire of controversy. Despite all of that, the two reconnected and openly dated over the summer of 1997, spending time together in Sardinia, the south of France, and, unfortunately, Paris. While visiting Paris, Diana and Dodi Fayed were involved in a car crash after trying to escape from the paparazzi early in the morning of August 31st, 1997. Fayed and the driver of the car passed away at the scene of the crash, while Diana initially survived the crash. But tragically, Diana succumbed to her injuries at a Paris hospital a few hours later and passed away at the age of 36 years old. Initially, it was believed that the members of the paparazzi that chased the couple were to blame for causing the accident, but following an investigation, a report released in 1999 determined that the driver was at fault for driving at a high speed while under the influence of alcohol and antidepressants. Queen Elizabeth II was openly criticized by her subjects for not immediately responding publicly to Diana's passing, something that is covered really well in a movie called The Queen, which, if you haven't seen it and are interested, I would absolutely go and watch it if I were you. If it is 100% accurate, I cannot say for sure, but it is a great film. Eventually, the Queen did indeed make a lengthy televised address from Buckingham Palace on September 5th. Now, on the morning of September 6th, Diana's funeral procession commenced from Kensington Palace, her coffin resting on a gun carriage drawn by 6 black horses. Thousands upon thousands of mourners of all ages packed the streets to watch, with 15-year-old William and 12-year-old Harry joining the final stretch of the 4-mile procession for their mother. On top of the thousands of people who physically showed up, an estimated 2.5 billion people tuned in on television to watch the ceremony at Westminster Abbey, which included a eulogy from Diana's brother, Earl Charles Spencer, and a performance from Elton John. Diana's body was laid to rest at a gravesite on a small island at her family's estate, Althorpe. In 2007, just before the 10th anniversary of her death, William and Harry honored their mother with a special concert that took place on what would have been her 46th birthday. The proceeds of the event went to charities supported by Diana and her sons. William and his wife Kate Middleton also remembered Diana when naming their second child, Princess Charlotte Elizabeth Diana, who was born on May 2nd, 2015. Following her death, for years, there were all kinds of rumors about conspiracies and motives for her death to occur, including one conspiracy theory that held it was a part of an assassination arranged by the royal family, although there is absolutely no evidence to support that theory. For many years after her death on August 31st, 1997, Diana's many criticisms of royal protocol were dismissed by those who claimed her to be unstable, but that didn't seem to persuade anyone in the public. If anything, Diana's existence had more of an impact on the royal family, as they seemingly had to come to the modern century and think a bit more critically about their position, impact, way of living, and honesty with their people. According to CNN, Today, the modern monarchy feels more emotionally open, more honest with its subjects, and more touchy-feely than ever. Her sons, thanks to the way their mother raised them, are more and more leading the royal family and their fans and subjects towards a more accepting age, with Prince William, the future king, wanting his subjects to be able to open up about their emotions. In a magazine interview, he said, quote, "There may be a time and a place for the stiff upper lip, but not at the expense of your health." Today, August 13th, 2022, HBO Max is releasing a documentary focused on Princess Diana called Aptly, The Princess. The film by Ed Perkins will explore Diana's life and her legacy using archival footage. It isn't likely to give any kind of new information for anyone familiar with the princess's life, and people like my mom will likely pick it apart and criticize anything it may even get a smidge wrong in her opinion. Again, I love you, Mom. But it will definitely be able to give anyone interested in learning more a great look at everything, including the courtship, arranged marriage, all the scandals, the birth of both her sons, the divorce, her death, and everything that came afterwards, and almost definitely in a way better way than my pathetic little video will be able to. The life of Diana has also inspired fictional portrayals in Spencer, The Crown, a Broadway musical, and so many books and documentaries that I cannot even list them all, even though I think my mom owns about half of them. But there you have it. That was a not so brief summary of the life and death of Princess Diana. I know I likely got things wrong, and I am open to accepting any criticism in the comments down below. But only if that criticism comes with a like and subscribe here at Where Are They Now. For now, I've been your host, Adam Andrews. Check me out on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and stay safe and well informed out there. Toodles.